sure it's like common meters, which is current provision. Again, I'll be interested to see what the state's guidelines do about that. That's an issue they haven't addressed. Parking is what's a lot, the state law allows us to require an extra parking space for the accessory dwelling unit unless it's within a half mile of the train station.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Yeah.
Not to be picky on that
Yeah.
one, but
Please do.
from the town standpoint, even if somebody lives on top of the train track, it's likely that that secondary person is going to have a vehicle.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit concerned about not having an off-street parking for that, especially in winter.
Yeah, this is out of the state law. The state law
Right.
says you can require a parking space, but you can't require a parking space
At that
if
point.
it's within a half mile of the train station.
And I'm wondering if they're even considering, so I'm disputing them, not you.
Yeah, okay.
I'm wondering if they're even considering the smaller towns that have tight streets with, snow removal. What goes on in the city to get a parking space with your lawn chairs and everything else.
Yeah.
There's no major parking
They just-
lots that you can park in overnight, so.
Yep, they're just assuming those people are either that there's already enough space in the lot for parking one way or another.
Yeah.
Or that those people aren't going to have a car and they're going to use public transportation, which is just
Well, they're
not
gonna,
feasible.
I wonder if they're gonna let them park at the rail station overnight if need be.
But it doesn't prohibit the owner having additional parking space.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yes, I hope you're still provided. I guess you can make an argument that, you can be subject to rent a unit if they aren't given a parking space.
Yeah.
Brendan?
Just a quick follow-up. I'm glad you asked that. So it's not only one, it's minimum one.
No, for parking?
Yeah,
Yeah, so this is.
or if it's within a half mile.
I pretty much took this straight out of the state law.
Okay.
You are allowed to require two spaces for the principal dwelling. You're allowed to, town's allowed to require one parking space for this additional unit. But the town's not allowed to require that if it's within a half mile of the train station.
Okay, so the town is not allowed to require,
Yeah.
meaning it's not forbidden.
Oh, no,
It's
the
just-
owner can still provide.
It's just the zoning board can punt it for whatever reason that involves that verbiage.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could also.
I just want to see how, I mean, sometimes this state gets pretty hard line about things. I just,
Yeah.
Could be the devil's advocate though, because you might have a piece of property that you would prefer not have an accessory and not having the need to have that parking space could make a difference.
Yep.
But I don't think the state has given full attention to the size of the small communities regarding snow removal and where if they do, if they don't have a space, if they're not required to have a space and they rent to somebody with a car,
yeah.
where are they with that car at night?
Especially Whitman, we have an ordinance for no
Yeah,
overnight
yeah,
parking, so
right.
Weymouth has the same thing,
Yeah.
so,
And you can't even park in the town parking lot at night.
right.
So,
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think this, the state, people can say, well, it's sort of almost an economic thing that if you construct an accessory unit on your property, if you don't have a parking, if you're within a half-train station, you don't have to have a parking space. But that means the only person who's going to rent from you is somebody who doesn't need a parking
Right.
space.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And that John can go down how this.
So I think H is maybe the most significant thing here in that this is to subject I'm most concerned with, if they put the accessory unit within the existing house, but if they stick it above the garage, then the garage is 10 feet from the property line. because we allow accessory structures that close to the property. Now you've got a residential unit 10 feet from the property line. So what I have in here in H is that the accessory dwelling unit, if it's within an accessory structure, that accessory structure has to meet the same setbacks as for the principal dwelling. So that pushes it 20, 30 feet away. And then I covers the situation of non-conforming, which again, the state hasn't, we have to see what the state regulations or guidelines do not consider. You want if you got, 6,000 square foot lot with a house on it. Can you put an accessory dwelling unit there? Well, probably so. But I'm at least putting in here that we're going to treat that as an intensification of the nonconformity, which means the ZBA has to issue a finding, which means even if the state strikes out site plan review, at least for this, we get a hearing if it's a nonconforming. We'd at least get some control over that.
So kind of to have non-conforming follow the plot? Said, or would it just be allowed, but they could not then build a second non-conforming?
Well, if this is like the situation, you get an existing house, it's non-conforming, fine. If you put an addition on that house, you gotta come to the zoning
Yeah.
board, control increase in the non-conformity. So this is saying, if you put an accessory dwelling unit, we're gonna treat that as the increase in non-conformity.
Yeah, okay.
And follow the same procedure.
Back to average David
I
state.
can see that happening,
Yeah.
having some dicey spots. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, again, that gives us at least a little control, gives, particularly with the effect on the neighbor. And then the very last thing here is just, what do we do about all the accessory units, accessory apartments we've already approved with given special permits to. So I just provided, we'll treat them as accessory dwelling units, and they can, they can operate the same as the new ones into the state law. So that's basically it. It's basically give us site plan review, make any accessory unit in an accessory structure subject to the same setback requirements as the house would be, and treat it, if it's on a non-conforming lot, we're going to treat this as an increase in non-conformity. I think that's about as far as we can go under the state law, but it's things we would not have otherwise.
I got a question that my wife asked me. So now my house has an in-law, and it's done under the variance we had. It can only be used for a family member.
The special, yeah.
So would this supersede that, that I could rent that out now?
I think so, because
Okay.
that's the question. What do you do with those? Well,
That's what, you want to just explain this to her? She asked me that.
that's
I'll ask.
that was the last point. is-
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was
You
reading
are
this.
now an accessory dwelling unit under the state law, and
Yeah.
you can rent it to anybody.
So, okay.
Because once it's deemed okay, it's okay.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So
Not that I want no one in.
Because there's
So my
significant
question
loss if it was.
on that same,
One person, please.
same subject
Sorry.
is, if they've gotten approval, so in Adam's case, he's gotten approval, he's got the variance, but what happens to these locations that have an apartment that never came for approval when the house goes to be sold?
You mean they have an illegal apartment?
Yeah,
Yeah, my house, when my house is resold, it reverts back to a, supposedly it is now, it reverts back to a one-family.
yes, but you went,
And now it won't be.
Won't be, okay.
You just treat it as an
my
accessory.
point isn't
Yeah.
about you who did it
Sure.
legally.
Yeah.
My point is about, I would imagine there are some that didn't go through the process and have an apartment.
Well, if they, what is it, I'm just speculating.
So
So
being the devil's advocate.
assuming like they're under 900 square feet, that they meet the definition of state law, they're allowed by right, so, I think that legalizes them
Yeah.
essentially, if they can fit under the definition.
But would they have to come back before the zoning board for a site plan review and?
Yeah, I guess if we pass this, building inspector could at least make them come to us for that, you know, or
But-
anything else.
I've got one question. Can I make the existing building the accessory and build a mansion next to it?
I think the only limit on that would be the size,
900
because
square
it
feet?
says, again, this is straight out of the state law, the limit is the accessory unit can't be more than half the gross floor area of the principal or 900 square feet, whichever is small, which is actually actually better than what we have now, because right now, we don't have a size limit. You get, so this limits it that way.
If I have a 3,000 square foot house, the accessory unit could be 1,500 square feet.
No, because the maximum it can be is 900.
That's maximum is 900.
Yeah, it's whichever is smaller, 1,500.
But that speaks to what I'm getting at too, and I'm thinking of the building down on South Ave, not as an example of an accessory, but there's a building down on South Ave that looks like it's built two duplexes side by side. On the left, on the right-hand side going up the hill to Plymouth Street. I've not stopped and looked at it. It doesn't look like it meets any setbacks, and I can't remember it ever coming before us. It may have been-
Is this a new one?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we approved one there
Across from Reed
within the last year.
Street, where the Regal School is.
No, I'm thinking it's the other side of the street.
It is the other side, but near the Regal School.
Yeah, a little bit past, a little bit closer to Front Street than that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that coming to us. And
it did.
it was approved as a duplex because two-family was allowed in that area. That's what I remember.
Just look driving by, it doesn't look like it meets the setbacks, but maybe.
From
it
the
does.
street?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
The two gray ones, the being built,
yeah, the side setbacks.
the side setbacks, they're not the requirements.
yeah.
Okay, it's just driving, it didn't look like it, but I still go back to, I think if we really looked at every resident in town, we would find additions that are being used as in-laws that may not have been qualified as additions, as in-laws.
Now, is there anything about a condo?
No, and that's something that's, I know people have raised that question, that's something the state's gonna have to address.
If you put a 10 by 10 shed in the back of your condo, you could technically rent it out.
Or I can take my double car garage and
Yeah.
make it an accessory unit? Not that it meets the condo document.
Well, that's probably, that's what's gonna maybe prevent it.
Charles, what?
Just don't subdivide your lot. They don't have to come.
I mean, the question is what is the lot in a condo too?
Right. And I own the whole thing until hold a section of it.
As long as they don't subdivide.
And
It's gonna be interesting.
It's actually all, the condo remains one lot.
Right.
So, does that fit under the state law? I didn't think about that.
Well, the state would supersede them. Well, they like the HOA.
I don't think so. I don't think the state can do that. I think it's the condo regs prohibit
As
it.
long as you don't subdivide it.
Yeah.
Before there's no control.
Okay, so what's the next step on this?
So I think if this board would approve this and submit it to the Board of Selectmen so they can refer it back to you for hearing, the state, and again, the reason for moving forward on this now is the state law goes into effect February 2nd, 2025. But if we advertise a public hearing on this amendment before February 2nd, then that kind of locks the zoning in place.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if we wait till a town meeting between February and May, people
Right.
could be rushing in and building these things.
So as close to February 2nd, but before as possible, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how close it is, it's just you have to advertise, publish the first.
Yes. So it doesn't have to
Hearing.
take place, it just has to be
Yeah, the hearing
published.
can wait till February, whenever, but it has to be advertised in, say, January. So if the idea was to get this to the selectmen next week, So, and I don't know if they would act then or.
They'd have to
I
get
can-
back to us
I can-
latest our 21st meeting, January 21st meeting, so we can post it.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of their deadline.
Yeah, I can submit it to their office tomorrow.
Yeah, so.
And then they can have
The
it.
7th would be preferable.
Hopefully the selectmen act next week
Yeah.
and refer it back to you, and you've got, December to act
I
and
don't
schedule
think
the
they're
hearing.
meeting next week.
They
Well, it
most
has to go to
certainly,
the attorneys, doesn't it?
When's the selectmen meeting next week?
next Tuesday,
Yes,
they have a
I
document.
think they, yep.
Yeah, that will give time, and I certainly would recommend to the selectmen that they send it to the town attorney to review.
Yeah.
Because he in turn can talk informally with the Attorney General's office and get a reading whether this is okay, so we don't go, we don't pass it and then have to go to the Attorney General. He can work with them, they know they've got a job to do, and they'll work with him on that.
Okay, so we have a public hearing, we still can change things in this.
Still can change it, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we take the proposed amendment to the, for the section 240-6.6 accessory apartments, forward to the selectmen.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this, ask Cal to put this on the agenda for Whitman meeting, ZBA's meeting next Monday. So I'll see, get the ZBA to endorse it too. And I'm happy to go to the selectmen's meeting next week.
Let's just make sure the selectmen know we have to have this back by January 21st.
Yep, I'll give them the whole
Yeah. just-
timeline and what would look,
Even if they
yeah.
don't want to act Tuesday, they ought to be able to act whenever they have
Yes.
a meeting in December. Get it to you. Because what is your meeting schedule?
7th and 21st in January.
Okay.
No,
So-
nothing in December?
Well. I'm just- I'm just
December is
saying
the
again, this
10th.
was- Yeah. So,
Yeah, because you'd want to, if it's going to be placed in the paper in January, you get a couple of
Yeah,
10 days or whatever before, so
yeah.
probably January 7th.
7th would be preferable.
Yeah.
yeah.
And again, we could always, if necessary, schedule something in between to-
You're gonna have, you're gonna
To meet
have
all of the
what,
things.
week of the month, right? It'll be, the 24th of December.
You'll be here by yourself.
I'll bring a pizza then for me.
Christmas Eve, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll send that off to the Board of Selectmen tomorrow.
Thank you.
No problem.
And you'll, they schedule for a particular
Yes,
time,
yeah.
Give you some idea.
Yep.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
John, have you scheduled this one?
We need to sit those here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brendan said, yeah.
What we're gonna do
Yeah.
is, if I'm remembering right, oh my God, so December 9th, we have a continued hearing on the middle school. I told Carol to schedule this one for 6:30, since I have no idea how long the middle school is. So let's meet at 6:30 and take care of this, and that way we won't have to have a meeting later in December.
I think we ought to put a time limit on that one afterwards.
Oh, the middle school?
Yeah,
No, I'm hoping it won't go.
it went for rubber the first time.
Well, we want to make sure everybody has, I'm anticipating an hour, I mean, just kind of,
Things have sifted up.
yeah,
A lot of guys were brought up.
We have some time to think about, let's see what they
Come back.
come back with, any changes, and I have some ideas, and we'll knock it off, it won't take too long.
Okay, so next item on the agenda, Mr.
I need to make an amendment to the beginning of our meeting, because I forgot to say it was attendance tonight, so I apologize to those listening. Attendance tonight, myself, Adam Somerville, chair.
Bob Kimball, clerk.
Elaine Bergeron, co-chair.
Wayne Andrews, member.
Brandon Griffin, member.
I should be doing that on they might need to do that for our
Well,
recording.
thanks for they're listening to know who's
Yeah,
voice is what.
sure.
That's all. That's what I forgot to do.
Since I've not seen, printed minutes. that
Right.
say Attendance other than.
That's why I have everyone do their own voice, so they don't. All right, so next we have 24 Homeland Drive. Residence A1, existing dwelling, proposed shed. Michael and Amy Silverman. Acquiring the property 2806. Application has been filed with the clerk and no previous appeal has been made. Section of bylaws which relief is requested. Section 240-6.2A. Applicant wishes to construct a shed beside the existing dwelling that was constructed prior to existing setback requirements. Applicant seeks a 5-foot sideline setback variance and a 1-foot setback variance from the existing dwelling. Anybody have any questions or statements?
We need to see the plans.
See the-
Yes. Why not use the shed back further? Why not just take it move back further? Then you can have the 10 feet.
So they're proposing to only have 5 feet
Yeah.
to the side.
Well, they're supposed to be.
Not in compliance.
So they have.
And how close to the building?
That's what it said, 1 foot.
1 foot, so they need 10 feet from a building and 10 feet from the side? It's not even, it's actually like 9 inches.
And the shed is 10 by 20? Am I reading that correctly?
Yes.
It's an accessory apartment, bigger than an accessory apartment.
Maybe that's
What's the, how big is the yard?
They got a good size, yeah, they could set that back easy.
They can push it
Put it
back.
back, but you could put it reasonably.
Well, no, I just got, because there's a,
That might be.
there's a size, there's a percentage restriction.
Turn it around the other way. Nothing like.
We don't know what else in the back of the yard.
They probably want it close to the house for ease of use, but that's not what it's
No, 5 feet is too close.
Where's it in relation to the driveway?
5 feet is.
the other side of the house,
And then
Yeah.
1 foot to the house.
but there's room to have the driveway.
There's 25 feet between the house and the side setback, to put it in the middle, basically.
The driveway right here.
What's the rear setback on the shed, is it 10 feet on that as well?
Well, they got plenty of room.
Yeah, I'm just curious what the setback was in the rear.
Yeah, there's
It's
plenty.
kind of a one-directional
Is it
thing,
50?
because they
I was
really
asking
get
for-
distance from,
Yeah,
and it's not enough.
50 feet, I got plenty of that.
John, you
Playing by the book.
put 50 feet to setback on A1.
I'll look it up.
I don't have my voice that like that.
What's the question, Mike?
Setback on the shed.
A1, 35, side 20, rear
At
50.
35, 40, 50.
50 feet,
Yep.
they got plenty of room.
Yeah,
They got plenty of room, they can move it anyway.
Or they need a 20-foot side yard, but at least 10 foot.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to have 10 feet from the lawn.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the, I wasn't looking at,
Why not turn around and then make it the other way?
I wasn't looking at the accessory.
5 feet's awfully tight.
Who are the people? They don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, just wondering,
He's going
who
Hillary.
the people were and how long they've owned the property.
The 06 is when they bought it.
06?
February 06, they bought it.
Well, they might know something about the zoning now. It's almost 20 years ago.
But they said the house was already built before that.
Yeah, so it's, you know,
It's really not fair that whoever this person has to be.
Right.
close.
Where is the,
But it is just a shed, not a garage. Just, I know, I'm just putting my statement.
okay, so I gave it, for an accessory building, no closer than 10 feet to any side or rear lot line, no closer than 10 feet to the principal building.
So they're looking,
And that, and it has to be the front yard, so.
Yeah.
they're looking for relief for both.
yeah,
And they've got an enormous backyard.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. If they
I
don't want
I agree with you.
if they don't want to take it back.
My shed's twice that.
I would agree.
Oh, since when do we agree?
Often.
Thank you,
You
sir.
can turn on the positive here.
Well, I'll get 2 new ones next month.
I'm getting new teeth.
Not too bad. I've been in for 50 years.
All right, so anyone like to make a motion or anything?
I would like to make a motion that we recommend denial pending the applicant's willingness to make it in compliance to 10 feet from the house.
In the side, yeah.
10 feet on the side.
Sure.
Move it
10
to
feet from the side of the house.
relocate to make it,
Also,
On the side of the house, with setback.
Yeah.
to the-
relocate the shed to meet required setbacks.
You can thesaurus me if you want.
No, I'm just saying.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no, no.
that's right, but one,
No, 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 no. I'm saying
next
it's
to
a
the
good
house
thing.
is 10, but next to
It's not a bad
the
thing.
the
the
lot.
lot is 10 as well?
When it goes to zoning, they're gonna have to be there, and they can explain why. They're not here to explain why they have to have it there to us, so
I just
it makes it difficult.
have the right verbiage.
Yep.
Well, I thought this was-
So I have it down that Brandon is making a recommendation for denial pending the applicant's willingness to relocate to meet required setbacks.
So you have a second?
I'd say.
Second, okay. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Alright. We have minutes. that
Yes.
were printed.
Yep, the minutes that were sent to everyone via email for the November 12th meeting. I don't have a printout, but I can read them to you.
I read them.
In attendance was Elaine Bergeron, Brandon Griffin, Robert Kimball, and Wayne Andrews. Adam Somerville was absent. Meeting was called to order at 7 PM by Elaine Bergeron, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. The approval of the October 22nd, 2024 meeting minutes was made with a small amended area from what Elaine had stated, which has been amended. The motion was made to approve them with the amendment by R. Kimball. A motion was seconded by B. Griffin. A vote was taken, and it was 3-1 because Brandon was not there at that meeting, so he abstained. Then there was a reminder that the next meeting would be today, Tuesday, November 19th at 7 PM, and a motion to adjourn was made at 7:05.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
Second that motion.
All in favor? I abstain.
Yes.
4-0-1.
Thank you.
That, your pay is docked for the 5 minutes.
I actually, I owe now.
Make a motion to adjourn, unless there's anything else to come.
Nope.
Okay,
Nope, there's nothing else.
thank you.